Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
Antarctica. 13 million square kilometers of snow and ice, and the setting for an extraordinary challenge.
It's ridiculous that a place like this should exist.
Led by expedition patron Prince Harry.
I'm honoured and privileged to be here with these guys. 4 wounded British soldiers.
There's not a single person doing this that isn't feeling knackered, sore to the core.
Are taking on teams from the Commonwealth and America.
This has been the toughest thing I've done since I've been blind.
To race over 200 kilometers to the South Pole.
I think he's just completely lost it. I got frozen hands.
It's a journey that will challenge the wounded.
Easy, you're going to feel very dizzy.
And the non-wounded alike.
It just feels as though it's getting worse and worse. Antarctica jumped up, bit me in the ass.
As it becomes a struggle for survival.
We are simply not going to do it. And that means we've failed.
In the coldest, windiest, and driest place on Earth. At 1 o'clock, the teams head out into the freezing wilderness. Team UK in red take an early lead. Close on their heels, the Commonwealth in orange, followed by Team USA in blue.
12 amazing people have managed to pull themselves through, a year's worth of training to get to the South Pole, and I think that is a huge achievement.
They're hoping their race will inspire their fellow wounded.
For some of them, lying in a hospital bed, being told you may never walk again, or you're going to be restricted for the rest of your life. Hopefully they can associate themselves in some shape or form with someone in one of those teams and go, well, if they can do it, I can do anything. And that's the point. That is the point of this whole adventure, in my mind.
All 4 of the British team are amputees. Captain Ibi Ali's arm was severed by a roadside bomb. Major Kate Philp lost her leg to an IED. Captain Guy Disney's leg was destroyed by a rocket-propelled grenade. And Sergeant Duncan Slater lost both legs when his vehicle was blown up. Already, pulling 80-kilo sleds is testing fragile, rebuilt bodies. The ground underfoot is a sea of sastrugi, frozen waves of unforgiving ice.
Everyone's learning the hard way. If you screw up out here, you get punished.
3,000 meters above sea level on the Antarctic plateau, high altitude saps even the strongest.
There ain't much oxygen up here to suck in. Every breath you have to take another one.
They've traveled 16,000 kilometers to be here. The next 200 will be by far the greater journey.
We've got a very narrow advantage. They keep pushing that out at the moment.
The polar routine is 2 hours racing, followed by 10 minutes break for 9 hours a day.
Well, we've been going at a steady 3.3 kilometers per hour.
Each team has a polar guide. For the Brits, it's Conrad Dickinson.
And at the moment, we're in the lead, so I'm quite pleased with the team.
At the first break, the team takes stock. In the punishing cold, double amputee Duncan has to take extra care.
Old Stumpy's getting a bit sweaty, so I'm going to dry him off, because if I was to let that stay as it was, it'd freeze, and that's not a good day.
At one point you're out in Afghan on ops, the next day you're in hospital in a lot of pain.
Duncan was blown up in 2009. 12 months later, both his lower legs were removed.
It takes a long time to get over that one. You've got to kind of find out who you are again and you know, what makes you tick.
Hey, there they are.
Kate is struggling with the altitude.
Leg's fine, it's just like having a handbrake on me.
Okay.
Kate's vehicle was hit by an IED in 2008. She chose to have what was left of her shattered leg removed.
When I take my prosthetic off and I look at my stump, it's so much more normal now than it was. There are times where I've looked at it and inspected it quite closely and thought, yeah, gosh, what a funny looking thing it is, or whatever, but I think you can become quite objective about it.
What's the distance, Conrad?
Now.
Guy lost his right leg in Afghanistan in 2009.
There are things that I won't be able to do now. You know, my soldiering career is now over, which is tough.
He left the army earlier this year, but not before serving a second tour as an amputee.
I'm a strong believer that you just get on with life, and I was very conscious of making that decision when I was injured.
The altitude is getting to Ibi as well.
All right, Hibbs.
Just a bit sort of breathless and exhausted, really.
Ibi's right arm was severed when his Land Rover was blown up in Iraq in 2007. Since then, he's become a dad to Zara.
She very much puts a smile on my face, even just thinking about her. And she's grown up with me having the amputation, so she knows no different. She will go and tell anyone that Daddy's only got one arm. My dad is a soldier and he got blown up in Iraq.
Okay, let's go.
The brakes are vital for refueling. But in the brutal cold, Canadian Chris Downey is finding it hard. A bomb disposal expert, Chris suffered multiple injuries when he was blown up in Afghanistan, including the loss of an eye.
A bit chilly. Fingers in front.
The team lose valuable time waiting for Chris. The Commonwealth slipped down to last place, pulling Chris's sled for him. But even without it, Chris is deteriorating.
He's gone on ahead, on his own. I think he's just completely lost it.
Supporting the Commonwealth team is Simon Daglish, one of the charity co-founders.
Chris, how are you? I got frozen hands. Let's have a look. I'll be okay. I've been seeing. Let's have a look, mate.
Trying to summon your back to the wind.
They warm?
Yeah, they're fine, they're fine, they're fine. Just getting back in there. They're fine, mate.
Right, what you'll do is just eating the breaks is so important. I think your energy's low, mate. Just eat, eat, eat. Even if it's cold, get it out of the bag and get it in your mouth.
At the end of the day, the teams pitch camp, 14 kilometers closer to the pole. The first priority is to warm up.
Absolutely drained at the moment. It's been a bit of a baptism of fire, but we've made it some good ground, and yeah, a bit of an eye-opener.
It is horrendous. But as we all know, day 1 and day 2 is normally pretty tough. Day 3 to day 4, hopefully we'll get into it. And then when we're at day 5, we could potentially be halfway through. I am exhausted. I think, you know, the guys, they'll probably be a bit down, but they shouldn't be. We smashed it.
Status. Just status.
Winning.
winning. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll have that. Team condition.
Fragile.
We've got some tired teddy bears. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty pleased.
This was run. I managed to catch it just before it froze. It's really rank. It's horrible.
As the second race day begins, spirits are high.
On your right, my beard is ginger.
He was trying to say, do you think it's blonde? But no.
It's not grey.
Hey, come on, steady man.
Canadian Chris Downey seems back on form.
I'm good now. Doesn't like making yourself feel like an ass on day one.
Okay, let's go.
As they set off, Team UK have the lead, with the US second and the Commonwealth team lying third.
Sails warm, fellas.
Navigating the sharp ridges of uneven ice is particularly challenging for blind American Ivan Castro.
Let's go for lift. On it now.
Ivan lost his sight in a mortar attack in Afghanistan.
This is like being back at war. The terrain is your enemy. And it's a battle. We're fighting each step of the way.
It's a battle that some of the Commonwealth team are losing. Expedition Doctor Dan Royce Dessar has an emergency call-out.
It seems that Chris has collapsed.
After struggling on day one, Chris Downey is now in serious trouble.
Harry South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
So basically, that was my weekend. And what did you do?
The new Skoda Yeti and Yeti Outdoor.
Skoda. Simply clever.
The deluxe range from Lidl.
Lidl? Seriously? All this? Wow.
Bad dog. Bad home. Bad health. Bad food. Good food. Good health. Good home. Good dog. For rescue dogs, the right nutrition is the first step to a brighter future.
There are bathroom sales, and there's the bath store sale. Right now, save up to half price and be inspired by our free design service. Plus, get an extra 10% off.
My name is Hafiz, 43. I've got 6 kids. Semi-detached, 4 bedrooms now. We had a loft conversion done. Really happy. I usually make overpayments on my mortgage. Barclays gave me the flexibility to increase payments and reduce them back to normal when I want, to free up some cash. My oldest daughter's actually getting married this year. Why couldn't you just wait till 3 years later after my mortgage was finished?
What could your mortgage free you to do?
From swim-up rooms to world-class spas, gourmet restaurants to infinity pools, it's amazing what our Sensatory holidays can do. Holiday experiences, Only from Thompson. Atoll protected.
Gifts for birthdays. Wedding days. And anniversary days. Gifts for the day you move out. Or the day you move in. Even gifts for the days you never want to forget. NotOnTheHighStreet.com. For a life less ordinary. Ooh, and don't forget Mother's Day on the 30th of March.
Looking for someone, I don't know where they are.
Father's lost his daughter.
Looking for someone, I don't know who they are.
That has to be put right.
Endeavour returns next Sunday at 8 on ITV.
Harry South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
Less than 2 days into the South Pole race, and Antarctica claims its first victim. Expedition Dr. Dan Royth-Tassar has been called out to Canadian Chris Downey.
So what came first, the dizziness and the collapse, or the shortness of breath? Nothing. Just the first thing you know is you're on the floor.
Chris's teammate, Australian Seamus Donoghue, was first on the scene.
I turned around and he was in the snow and he was completely out. So he was unresponsive and passed out.
Easy, you're going to feel very dizzy. He's complaining of chest pain and breathing discomfort. What I want to do is spend at least the next 24 hours checking him over, making sure that he's absolutely okay, as if not, he's staying with us with the vehicles.
Chris is taken back to the expedition base camp. His team ski on, 2 hours behind and 1 man down.
It's like letting your team down. Pretty miserable. Being weak in front of them, that sucks. Slowing them down, that sucks. It all does.
The British are maintaining their lead. As they race, even in the cold, it's all too easy to overheat.
You want to be comfortable. You should never be warm. You should be comfortable.
As the second day ends, Team UK is nearly 2 kilometres in front of the Americans and more than 5 kilometres ahead of the Commonwealth team. But the British lead has come at a price.
It's Ari!
Harry Herkson is expedition paramedic.
Heavy pain in this?
It's just numb and swollen.
Antarctica's unrelenting cold has caught Kate out. She has frostbite.
The problem is, I'm getting quite hot, and so for part of the day I didn't have my ears covered. When we stopped, I just said to Libby, "My ear look all right?" He's like, "No."
If Kate's frostbite worsens, she could lose part of her ear and her place in the race.
It's been a hard day for everybody, but I think the thing to remember is it gets better. The body adapts, the sledges get lighter, the snow levels off a bit, and that's what will happen.
As Team UK wake to another bitter Antarctic morning, 170 kilometres still lie between them and the pole.
Good morning. Day 3. Union Jack is flying high. Where is she? There it is through there. Nice little touch that. Where's our fearless leader? There he is. Yay! He's smiling now, but he was spooning me about 4 hours ago. It is only day 3, and it's starting to hurt.
There's not a single person doing this that isn't feeling knackered, sore to the core. It's just how you get on with it. That's really the test now.
You know, I got in the tent yesterday and I was like an old man. I was in a lot of pain, like stumps are swollen. I was in rag, like, but you're going to be in rag after 9 hours skiing, like,
Our one solace is listening to our iPods. Everybody's iPods crashed because of the cold. When there's nothing in your head, which there is in mine, it's a lonely old place to be, I tell you.
Conrad is not happy. The team is slow getting going.
We agreed last night we were going to start at 9 o'clock. When you have a football match that kicks off at 3 o'clock, you don't have a football player shuffling on at 3:15 saying, sorry, I'm late. Yes, it's cold. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, we're under the weather. But you've got to lift yourself into a positive spiral. Otherwise, we will fail.
Despite the late start, Team UK have kept their lead, closely followed by the Americans. The Commonwealth team have ground to make up, but are motoring along. But as the day progresses, exhaustion kicks in. The final rest break comes none too soon for Kate.
I just feel like I'm going to keel over any minute.
No, you won't. You won't. Yeah. Yeah. Have some.
Wait, I can't. Thank you.
One man down, the Commonwealth team has closed on the Americans, but at a cost. It's not just the wounded suffering in the arduous conditions. Despite 20 years' experience, Australian polar guide Eric Phillips has been hit hard.
How's the day been? Terrible. I can't get breath. I can't get breath. And now I'm feeling the pain.
As the day ends, the tents are a much-needed refuge.
I'd say that the priority tonight is eat as much as you can, hydrate as much as you can, and get your head down as quick as you can. Yeah. Try to get the body rested, and tomorrow's another day.
It takes over 2 hours to melt snow, to drink and rehydrate their rations.
Kebab casserole, 2 nights running. Luckily it's good.
Pasta and tomato.
That's a really good one.
New one.
It's a delicious one. That actually tops spaghetti bolognese. Oh, smell that. Can you smell that? Smell it. Mmm, yum, 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 yum.
Even for able-bodied Harry, it's been a tough 3 days.
So day 1 I got a hot spot. Day 2 I just let it manifest into a blister. Whatever it was is now popped to there and something else there as well. And what's really weird is I can't begin to describe to you how sore that is. But you can't even see it. But yeah, count myself lucky that I've got feet.
3 kilometres behind Team UK, Canadian Chris Downey is rejoining his team. He's been given the all clear by the doc, but his polar guide, Eric, hasn't.
Do you feel short of breath just sat there? Yeah.
Eric has fluid on his lungs, a sign of serious altitude sickness. A killer.
see how you actually respond to the treatment. But you can't carry on like that day after day after day. You know it. You know it. That could have you very ill very, very quickly.
For now, Eric's race is over. The doc's medical rounds continue with the Brits.
Coping well with that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's
good. Good.
Jeez, man. You could go down with some sort of cold weather injury here. You're mad.
Reduced circulation and muscle mass make their stumps especially vulnerable to cold weather injuries.
The only bit on here is usual.
That's the usual bit that gives you the problem.
Which is just started.
Kate's stump is sore, but her frostbitten ear is the bigger worry.
I think you've got some damage. You may have some damage to the cartilage of your ear there, and so you're not going to get away completely scot-free.
But if I can keep it covered like I did today,
there are no guarantees. You are in the middle of nowhere. I need to dress it anyway. The treatment's the same, but we've got to be very clear about this, okay? Because of where it is, I don't want you to get any sort of ongoing cosmetic damage there, Kate. I really don't.
Okay, so what's the worst case?
Damage to the cartilage of the ear, and
is it just cosmetic, or would it affect?
No, it won't affect it. Won't affect hearing, but it will give you like a cauliflower.
If I keep my hair long, I'll be all right.
It will give you like a cauliflower ear.
Okay.
But it's a decision that you've got to.
I think
you've got to decide on. I'm afraid.
I think we carry on, and I just keep it covered like I did today.
Okay, we'll dress it for you. All right.
If it gets any worse, it will be the end of the race for Kate.
Harry South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
If things go wrong, the best home insurer to deal with for claims, according to which, is NFU Mutual. When it comes to making a claim, we will not quibble. If you can't stay at home, we'll quickly give you an initial £500 and find alternative accommodation. To find out more, have a proper conversation with us. Visit nfumutual.co.uk. It's about time.
Paul couldn't help compare his television to his friends. There's the posh flat-screen telly, the massive, bit too loud home cinema telly, or the put the goggles on, live naked men in your sitting room telly. With E.ON, he can now compare his energy use too. Join over 400,000 customers who are already comparing their energy use with similar E.ON homes and see how you stack up.
With the Dyson Digital Motor V6, 2-tier radial cyclones, and a motorised cleaner head, the new Dyson Digital Slim Vacuum sucks up as much dust as even a corded vacuum.
Millions of workers like us are already benefiting from being enrolled in the workplace pension. Because when we pay in,
our boss pays in too.
I'm in.
I'm in! Workplace pension.
We're all in.
We're all in!
With easyJet, enjoy allocated seating on every flight. Glide straight through the airport with the easyJet app. And travel with confidence on one of Europe's most punctual airlines. Flying with easyJet has never been easier. This is Generation easyJet.
It's Price Slice Week, a doubly delicious deal. Buy one Domino's pizza and get one free. Now that's
greatness from Domino's.
At Esso, we've developed a specially formulated fuel. A fuel designed to give you courgettes.
Esso, fill up your club card when you fill up your tank.
If you're looking for big labels at irresistible sale prices, check out the Big Label sale at SCS. This is our best price ever on this G-Plan sofa. You won't find this Lazy Boy sofa cheaper anywhere else, and only SCS has such great deals on stain and kid-resistant endurance sofas. Check out the price on this Easy Clean stain-resistant endurance carpet too. Plus there's 4 years, yes, 4 years interest-free credits on everything in the Big Label sale on now at SCS.
Join more and more people who've saved an average of £866 by not partexing. Enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
The Mercedes-Benz C-Class from £285 per month.
Harry South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
At the bottom of the world, 3 teams of wounded are battling each other and the Antarctic to reach the South Pole.
Race status. Team UK. First place. Everyone's looking good in front. All pretty tight. Second place. USA. And quickly catching up is the Commonwealth team.
Canadian Chris Downey seems to be back on form, but his team guide Eric Phillips remains out of the race. In Team UK, despite a blistered stump and a frostbitten ear, Kate's still skiing.
You know, to be fair, with the frostbite that she had, that was an easy way out that anyone could have taken this morning. And she's still with us, so fair play. Duncan's up front. Double amputee, leading the way, pushing on with a really nice pace.
Such a privilege to be here. You know, you tread in the footsteps of a lot of people that have been here before. They've explorers and all the rest of it. I'll say this, if you ever got the chance, come here. You've got to grab it. It's a beautiful place.
I love it. You have to come to the South Pole to get away from it all. Clear the mind and just enjoy the space. And then find myself with a camera strapped to my chest. It's not intrusive. It's not intrusive at all.
Day 4 should be the day when polar rhythm, but Antarctica is pitiless. Its cold, dry air burns the lungs. Kate has been suffering since the race began, as has Richard Eyre, UK team mentor.
Stop feeling terrible. I can't breathe. And you, Kate, how are you? Coughing and spluttering.
Breathing's been a lot worse today.
Take a deep breath for me. Yeah. And again, some muck developing down there. Deep in.
Dr. Dan wants both Brits in the medical tent for treatment. It's not only Kate's cough and ear that are causing concern. Her stump, rubbed sore, has become infected.
I've got a... It's passing on that fibula head. Should I just leave it off?
Yeah, I'll just help you in the car.
We can't leave her overnight in a tent miles away from where we are. It's much, much safer, and we can at least make her much more comfortable.
Take it for the moment, the race is off for those two.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, you feel like you've prepared physically and mentally, and you had some, excellent training. And I'm used to meeting tough challenges, in my job. And I think that's why it's so disappointing, because, I've done all right up until now.
The next day, and the team ski on, minus 3 of their fellow racers. They're half a day from the first checkpoint, where they'll all have a much-needed 24-hour enforced rest. The British team remains in the lead, but the Americans have dropped back to last place. Blind soldier Ivan's struggling to breathe.
This morning I started skiing and I couldn't breathe. And I thought that that after 10 minutes it would go away, but the harder I pushed myself, the less I could breathe. I felt like I had an elephant sitting on my chest.
Just 6 miles before the checkpoint, Ivan's pulled out too.
It's kind of tough because, you know, I never quitted anything in my life, but it's the fact, it's the truth. And I'm slowing down a team, and if I slow down a team, they're going to get cold.
You okay, fella?
Yeah.
At 10:54, a depleted Team UK arrive at the checkpoint first.
Hey ho!
Feels like the finish line. Far from the finish line, isn't it?
Jubilant because we're the first team here. You know, that's a third of it done now.
The team pulled the puddings out. You have people no legs, single legs, fantastic.
Guy and Duncan, remarkable. Those two just led us the whole way in.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, pretty for a rest now, like.
Without Kate and Richard, the lead is bittersweet.
It's good, but the only thing I say is I can't help feeling a bit of a failure not getting everyone here. And to have not got them here, I can't help but feel we've let them down.
Hey, British team's still here, still flying the flag.
90 minutes on, Team Commonwealth arrive. Their guide, Eric's, recovered enough to cheer them in.
Great, man, how are you?
An hour later, Team USA make it. 1 man down.
Just wish I was out there with them, coming in with them, and not standing there waiting for them. But I'm happy to see that they're coming in.
Well done, Therese. You made it.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'm not even third of the way there.
Altitude, frostbite and exhaustion have taken out members of every team. Antarctica has been ruthless, and something has to change. Race organizer Ed Parker calls an emergency meeting with the guides.
The responsibility of every person on the plateau lies on my shoulders. And right now, I can promise you, my shoulders have been sagging. Right at the beginning of this, our aim was to get 12 wounded individuals onto the pole. If we go on like this, we are simply not going to do it. And that means we've failed.
Ed gathers all the teams together. He has an announcement to make.
I've decided the race is over, and from here on in, we're doing this together. We're going to get 12 people who are here, having been wounded, onto the pole. And in 7 or 8 days' time, we're going to be standing there together.
It's a massive game changer.
It's a bit disappointing we're not doing the whole distance, I'm quite honest, because we've trained for it, prepared for it, and we're in good shape for it, but Ned's absolutely right.
Ed's plan is to unite the teams and slow the pace to get everyone to the pole together.
I think absolutely right decision to make. There's some people in a pretty bad clip at the moment. I think if we kept on pushing the way we were going, I'm sure something fairly similar would have happened to us.
The whole point of this expedition was to prove to people back home who are lying on their beds in hospital or at home, the impossible is possible. I don't want to get to the South Pole and have something standing next to all of these guys and girls. There's no point. That's not what I came for.
Who's that? It's me. Surprise!
Surprise, surprise. How are you, Harry? You okay?
I'm good. It's quick hand inspection time, I'm afraid.
foot and hand inspection time.
George is at the job. He's a nursing assistant.
The 24-hour rest is a chance for the doc to give everyone a once-over.
I couldn't pop it.
Good. You've got no problems there. Fantastic.
I've had no problems whatsoever with the stump.
Good. Bend again for me.
And for the doc to be checked out too.
Oh. Sorry about the cold. Once more.
It's cold.
Once more.
You're mad. You're mad.
But in Kate's tent, things aren't so good.
That's taking some skin off.
Okay, let's get another dressing on that then and get that cleaned. Is that the major bit that's causing you the pain when you put your prosthetic on?
Yeah, I mean, that's always the problem there around the fib head.
Infected, but there's obviously some weeping coming from it.
I think I just took the opportunity in the tent today, whilst I was on my own, just to do a bit of sort of soul searching, if you like. I feel like a real burden on the team, and I'm literally not pulling my weight, and I'm not contributing, and I'm not myself. It's a real hard one to deal with, but hey, no one ever says it's going to be easy, and it's a challenge, and it's pushed me in different ways than I expected. But that's probably a good thing.
A lot of these guys and girls have done heroic things, but they're not heroes. They're normal people trying to get their lives back on track. You can't tell someone how to get over losing a leg. You can't tell someone how to get over PTSD. It's just simply not possible. So I hope that if they haven't come to terms with their injuries and stuff, then maybe this is the best place for it. I'm obviously here for these guys, I'm here for the charity, but there's a little part of me that is I'm unable to use it for my own advantage. Being away from it all, having some headspace, having some time to think about stuff, and I don't know, it's just not having to worry about stuff and not being uncontactable, which is great.
The next day, the teams, no longer in competition, set off for the pole together. The race may be over, but the challenge remains huge. They're still 110 kilometers from the pole and a long way from safety. On the ice, conditions remain punishing.
We just had a call to say that Alex has fallen over. Apparently his speech is slurred and he's not got very much sensation down one side of his body.
Alexandre Baudin d'Anjou is a Canadian combat engineer.
What happened? I was skiing and then I can't feel my left side now.
Alex survived 2 explosions in Afghanistan. Now Antarctica has brought him down.
2, 3.
He says he's lost feeling down one side of his body. He's not speaking all that clearly. So the safest thing for us to do is get him in the vehicle, take him back to where we've got a tent.
It happened to me before, but just my leg, not half my body, so it was very scary at that moment. The thing I remember is thinking about my children, and I want to be able to play with my children again, so I don't want to stuck like this.
The race was stopped to make things safer, but Antarctica remains utterly unforgiving. And it's not long until there's another emergency call.
He's had headaches for a number of days, but I gather it's got worse overnight.
This time, it's Prince Harry.
Harry South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
Sea to dreams. Sea to freedom. Sea to life. Sea to emotion. Sea to love. Sea to myself. Sea, the new fragrance by Giorgio Armani.
the quietest bagless cylinder cleaner on the market, tested under extreme conditions. The new GS50 Power Silence by Bosch. Bosch, invented for life.
Even the most non-stop days can't stop double wear from Estee Lauder, the UK's #1 beauty product in shades for every beautiful skin tone. Flawless, even through heat and humidity. Serious all-day staying power. Comfortable, oil-free, oil-controlling, double wear stay-in-place makeup. And now the first luminous long-wear BB from Estee Lauder. New double wear all-day glow BB moisture makeup and highlighter in 8 shades, perfect for all skin tones. Only from Estee Lauder at Debenhams.
Look, football, it's a numbers thing. One touch, a quick 1-2, stick to our 4-4-2 and we'll get the goal. Come on, give me 100%.
Can we play now?
Benson's for Beds 1 to 5 bed firmness rating and unique comfort station make it easy to find a bed that's right for you.
We love this. It's a #1.
Like me? Right now in the Benson's for Beds half-price sale, there's extra discounts on many beds and free credit on everything over £150.
Birdseye presents Comedy Dad, featuring fish fingers and field fresh peas.
Well, I've never known anybody eat as much food as you.
This is only my first dinner tonight.
How many dinners are you going to have?
5, usually. But,
Angel, do you want more peas?
Yes, peas.
Campbell?
I'm okay at the moment.
And any more fish fingers?
Yeah, some more in the oven, love.
Thank you. How long will they be?
About 4 inches.
No, Dad. It's just annoying when you do that.
I'm sorry.
Birdseye, the food of life.
At PayPal, we securely store your payment options all in one place, so you're only a couple of clicks away from using plastic for dressing fantastic. Splash and dough on pizzas to go. Using savings to conquer your cravings. Your bank account to pay for weekends away. Use PayPal safely when you're at home, on the move, or even abroad. And you can still pick up your points and rewards. Want it? Get it? Choose PayPal.
Let's do the illogical. Like less fuel in for more miles out.
This is Jane. She's just driven away from a Tesco petrol station without paying for all her fuel. Look how happy she is. That's because she's not going to jail. She's not going to jail because she got money off her tank of fuel just by shopping at Tesco. And the more she shops, the more she saves. Do your shopping, scan your Club card, save up to 20p a litre. Club card fuel save. Tesco. Every little helps.
Harry's South Pole Heroes, supported by Virgin Money Giving, the fundraising website from Virgin Money.
Skiing to the South Pole has been punishing. It's taken a toll on the wounded and the able-bodied alike. And on day 8, it's Prince Harry who's gone down.
Tell me what's been happening.
I slept for about an hour. And
Just describe the headache to me at the moment, please.
It just feels as though it's expanding. It's just getting worse and worse.
Harry's fallen victim to the extreme environment. High altitude, dehydration and exhaustion have finally got to him.
Antarctica jumped up, bit me in the ass. If you show a weakness to Antarctica, I think it exploits it. And I think it will slowly grind you down until you have that utmost respect for it, of which I now have.
Have you been vomiting or feeling sick with this?
No.
Can you feel me touching you down here?
Mm-hmm.
And here?
Mm-hmm.
And here?
Mm-hmm. Oh. I thought I could come out here and just crack on and see it through without any issues, make sure that I'm here for the guys when they need me. But, yeah, I'm frustrated and disappointed in myself, but it really does prove quite how mentally and physically tough these guys are.
For now, Harry's out of the challenge too. The next morning, 80 kilometres from the pole, Prince Harry is itching to get back on the ice.
Being tent-bound really sucks.
If I can join the guys for the last couple of hours today, that'd be great. I don't really enjoy sitting around doing nothing, especially when I know that they're walking 17 kilometres.
After resting for 36 hours, Harry rejoins his team. Each day, the pole is 16 kilometres closer. One by one, all the race casualties return. First, Alex. And then Kate.
Is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm probably a little bit nervous, to be honest. Just hoping that, I can keep up and not slow them down like I was before. But it'd be good to be back with them.
After 12 days high on the Antarctic plateau, the end is in sight.
Looks like the South Pole. It must be about 10k away, but it looks a lot closer. And all of a sudden my blood is nice and warm again.
The pole is just half a day away.
Good morning. It is the morning of Friday the 13th, which means it's South Pole Day.
All the teams go through their morning routine for the last time.
Feelings, relief, I think, is probably the biggest one, not just for me but for everybody. But at the same time, I get the fact that some of these guys, it's been a hellish 2-3 weeks.
It's been harder than probably some of us would like to admit, but it's been good. For me, it's been an utter privilege to do it with Dunk. The days when I felt a bit sore, a bit tired, I just look at that man and see him powering on, and it's amazing.
Alongside me has been guys with no legs, no arms, and with the constant pain in their backs, the heads, the shoulders, the necks, and not one murmur of complaint or self-pity.
From day one, the old stumps have gone black and blue with a bit of bruising, a bit of swelling up. But we knew that was going to happen. That's par for the course. You can't walk over 200 kilometres and not get a bit of a swollen leg, like.
Oh my God! I thought it was Prince Harry for a minute.
Yeah. I think I win the beard competition. I'm looking forward to having a final ski today, especially seeing as yesterday went well. Hope everyone else is feeling good. I'm sure they are.
Just thinking of all those men and women that have served and been wounded or killed. And so, guys, if you're looking down on me, thank you very much for your help and inspiration. And thank you for your sacrifice. Cheers, guys.
I kind of hope that as a charity we've kind of given a little bit back to these people who've given so much to us. Something that they can hold on to for really the rest of their lives.
It's been quite a tough couple of weeks. It's been a little bit more jeopardy than I would have hoped for. These people I started meeting in September last year. They are completely different individuals now to the ones we met. They've all grown, and there are 12 people who leave Antarctica in a better place. There are people who've been walking here with shadows alongside them of people who've lost their lives. And it's very hard to keep that there, and I just hope this is the moment they can look to their futures. We've got a double amputee, a blind person, people with appalling burns, people with mental injury. And I hope people see these young men and women and they're inspired to actually, out of their dark place, get up and move forward.
For many of the wounded, it's the start of their new period of their recovery, when they prove to themselves they can still do incredible feats brilliantly.
After 13 days, 200 kilometers and 7 medical emergencies, all 12 wounded soldiers ski to the South Pole together.
I'm so happy for them. It's brilliant. They've done so well. Every single person, but especially those 12 guys and girls.
Great.
Good job. Really good job.
Hey, I'm a mess. You're a great guy.
From now on, you will always enjoy the cold.
It's good, yeah, very good. It's nice to finally be here. It's a phenomenal experience, and I find myself very lucky to have been a part of.
It's just such a privilege to be here, and regardless of the fact that I've only skied half the distance, it's still absolutely incredible to be here, it really is, and I couldn't be here with a better bunch of people.
I think the achievement as a group is more important to me than anything else. We've managed to get our team to the South Pole through not just the actual terrain, but physical and psychological hurdles have been overcome, and we've gone through that as a team.
What happened in Afghan took my legs, it didn't take my spirit. You know, I've needed help out here, but you still try, you still give it your best shot when you can, and I think that's what's important, so I guess that's the old me, So yeah, hopefully things are on the up.
Look what happens when when so many people come together, you can achieve pretty much anything. And as Afghan and other conflicts cease, we've got to come together. We have to ensure that these guys and girls, succeed in every possible way they can in the lives that they choose to lead. I'm honoured and privileged to be here with these guys. It's been very special.
One of the guides for Harry's South Pole Heroes is online to take your questions now on Twitter @ITV. Or for more information about Walking with the Wounded and to donate, just go to walkingwiththewounded.org.uk/donate. Next tonight, life for the Chief will never be the same, with some shocking news from back home. It's the last in the series of Mr. Selfridge.